Hey everybody, just want to do a quick video here regarding something that came across my desk recently that's pretty astonishing. It's regarding the real reason that Trump pulled our troops out of Syria. Now this is coming from beforeitsnews.com, which is a pretty credible and reliable source for truther information, and I'll include that in the description. And now after I read that article, I want you to listen to what Sherry has been saying about Anunnakis for over 15 years. And maybe now people will start listening, as these attacks are only going to continue going forward. Approximately 150 United States Special Forces troops and 24 advisors fled a U.S.-controlled compound in Syria, Manbij, after receiving credible reports of extraterrestrial invaders headed in their direction, according to Federal Service Bureau agent Dmitry Osmovich. Russian President Vladimir Putin, who has real-time access to global Anunnaki incursions, made an urgent call to President Trump, warning him that an Anunnaki horde had materialized 50 kilometers from Manbij and was traveling at breakneck speed toward the American military encampment. Although Putin loathed the American military presence in northern Syria, his animus toward malevolent extraterrestrials compelled him to warn Trump of the soldiers' imminent demise, Osmovich said. At first, Trump didn't believe Putin. He thought Putin was making it up. Trump said Putin's Anunnaki was probably Syrian Arab Army, SAA, regulars out to avenge fallen comrades, and that American Special Forces could dispatch them with ease. So Putin sent him Kremlin-classified encrypted photos and video of Anunnaki warriors slaughtering Syrian civilians near Ras Al Ain. I understand that Trump gawked at the photos in stunned silence and thanked Putin for the information, Osmovich said. As unconfirmed White House communique stated that President Trump personally contacted General Richard D. Clark, commander of the United States Special Operations Command, instructing him to immediately evacuate all U.S. personnel from Manbij. When the perplexed general asked for an explanation, Trump allegedly replied, "Don't question my authority. I'm the president. Tell your men to go. Run. Get to the choppers." Paraphrasing Arnold Schwarzenegger's fictional character Dutch from the movie Predator. "Hi, go! Get to the choppers!" Shortly thereafter, standby helicopters from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, known as the Night Stalkers, began extracting ground forces. Others fled in Hummers or other military vehicles. Within 30 minutes of Trump's call to General Clark, the camp was deserted, completely abandoned. A Special Forces operator claimed to have seen a quote-unquote massive swirling sandstorm looming in the distance. Osmovich said the sandstorm was an impenetrable wave of Anunnaki intruders that would have overrun the compound and slaughtered all in their path had Trump not ordered the evacuation. At a distance of 15 kilometers, the Anunnaki stopped and vanished in thin air, probably by way of the preferred means of transport, interdimensional portals, Osmovich said. Asked why the Anunnaki ceased pursuit or did not just portal into the camp, Osmovich said the following: "The Anunnaki are capricious and unpredictable. Tactics are fluid. Every time we think we understand them, they do something new. But so do we. And maybe now your President Trump will take the Anunnaki threat seriously." The camp would have been obliterated and the soldiers killed. The following day, an RT News crew visited the compound. Video footage suggests American forces made a hasty retreat as they had left behind weapons, hardware, furniture, personal items, unfinished suppers, and even pets. An abandoned dog and a tabby cat greeted the RT team. Adia Almasi, an Arabic RT correspondent, said, quote, "American military left so quickly, something must have scared the life out of them." Now this article that I'm going to share with you from her is from 2013, but she has a number of others in her arsenal, which I'll add a few in the description so you can read at your leisure. In the Sumerian language, the term Anunnaki meant from heaven who came to earth. The first Watchers who instigated the rebellion were judged accordingly. 200 Watcher officers, each in charge of tens of thousands of Watcher soldiers, abandoned heaven to mingle with earthly women. Even after the flood, many more rebelled and came to earth following their footsteps. These ones have not been judged yet. The bulk of these fallen angels from both of the earlier rebellions, Lucifer's and the Watchers, have been imprisoned in the hollow planet of Rahab, aka planet Nibiru, which is now returning to Earth to help Lucifer overthrow and dominate the Earth in the last days. It is in these last days that the Lord will allow them to be released from their prison to fulfill their end-time prophetic role in helping Lucifer subdue the Earth. The Anunnaki had children that became known as the Nephilim, Rephaim, Imam, Gibberim, Philistines, Zemuzimim, Anakim, Evim, and a few other names. The mixing of genes started with Cain's daughters, the women of Canaan, who created a DNA defect called giantism. Their children were giants. Some were 30 feet tall. Aliens are not demons. Demons are the spirits of the dead giant hybrid children. These Watchers came to Earth to be kings, emperors, priests, shaman, Tuatkas, Manitaus, pharaohs, gods, and goddesses. They are the titans, pans, gods, goddesses, and fauns of Greek and Roman mythology. They have supernatural strength, psychic powers, and oftentimes have 6 fingers and 6 toes. Now, they want us to believe mythology is merely fiction, but it is not. Almost all the characters are based on real Watchers or their hybrid children who played those roles while on Earth. Yes, a lot of it is dressed up to make these characters heroes and gods and goddesses, but you can glean some real truth concerning what was going on back then, minus the garbage they threw in to make them all nice little fairy tales. The Anunnaki are known to be shapeshifters and cannibals. They sacrifice humans, drink blood, levitate objects, astral travel, report the future, practice magical arts, and teach the art of war. They are the masters of astronomy and astrology. They taught mankind abortion, so they could keep certain women beautiful for sexual pleasure. They are the incubus, the succubus. They are the magi of ancient Egypt and Babylon. They place and remove curses. They use poisons, gossip, backbiting, and intrigue to take power and overthrow the true sons of Father Yahweh. They are master builders and built the ancient cities. They are Atlanteans. They are half fallen angel and half human being. They are the Gibberim, mighty men of renown, like Hercules, the Titan. They are the stock that the Antichrist will come from. They are fully fallen hosts and fully man. They were here before the flood and after. They are the creators of the alien hybrid greys and UFOs of modern times. They are the seed of Satan. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. They can shapeshift into reptilian form and then back into their own. They can be 7 to 9 feet tall on average. They are the armies of the Antichrist. They are the inhabitants of hollow Nibiru. They will be enforcers of the mark of the beast. And as the Lord has told Sherry, men's hearts will fail with fear when they see these beings on earth. This earth is going to be cluttered with tall, ugly, and damned. And it's coming sooner than you think. Yahweh had given her visions in the spirit of the fear and terror which will take place as these giant Anunnaki return to earth via Nibiru, and just rise up from their underground hideouts and overthrow America and then the world. At first, they may appear friendly, sincere, and offer to help Earth struggling to survive from wars, natural catastrophes, and famines to deceive the world to invite them to our planet. But the facade of friendliness will not last. They will overthrow our government, replace the law of the land, and dominate this land as they walk through it, putting all people in subjection and fear of them. In America, there will be millions of these giants along with hordes of unhuman-looking aliens of every shape and size and grotesque features that were part of Lucifer's rebellion, who lost their angelic looks as part of their judgment. There will be riots and uproars. People will run for their lives and try to fight against them. Sheer panic and the horror over this dominant and massive alien presence will sweep across America. Martial law will be declared, and those who fight against the aliens and the NWO will be terminated. They will be everywhere, wicked and evil. They will force mankind here in America to commit unspeakable sins and atrocities and kill those who refuse without a second thought. They are not coming as our friends. They are complete haters and enemies of mankind who will make Americans their slaves. They will walk through our neighborhoods, towns, cities, and every state and hunt the believers of Father Yahweh. They will enforce the mark of the beast. They will help Lucifer take physical control of the earth. They will maim, kill, rape, imprison, and terrify humans everywhere around the globe. As famines escalate because of natural catastrophes and wars, they will eat humans as prey. The mixing of fallen angels alien with human DNA led to giantism, defect, and the DNA of hybrid offspring, and an eventual, almost complete contamination of not only the human DNA, but the animals as well. Bestiality was common. By the time Father destroyed the world with a flood because of this contamination and to destroy the hybrid giants and deformed animals, only one family on Earth was left with pure DNA. But even after the flood, the Watchers kept revolting, and even more were punished and cast out of heaven, losing their first estate and habitation as they continued to defile women and human DNA. At the time Israel left Egypt, they had to conquer some 20 cities of the Watcher giant children to reclaim the land of Israel as their own. The Watchers were known as the Nephilim, Anunnaki, or the heroes of old, men of renown. Over the years, the human hybrid giant race were destroyed through wars and by their own corruption. The mixing of alien and human DNA did not vanish, though. It just went underground. Most humans today have contaminated blood in their DNA. Although the human hybrid giantism defect was perfected, the original Anunnaki are still giants. This hybridization and corruption of the human DNA is still today very much a part of our world. And most hybridization goes undetected. It never stopped from the beginning. They just perfected it, creating their own human serpent seed line to mingle with humans. If you've been following my videos, a lot of this probably sounds familiar. So why is the church silent on UFOs, aliens, abductions, implantations, and forced breedings? These Anunnaki are not our creators. You can read in Enoch chapter 6 through 15 how they were created beings of Father Yahweh in heaven and were assigned to watch over the earth. When they rebelled, they were cast out of heaven, their first estate, although they do still reign in the first and second heavens and inhabit other planets and star systems visiting Earth and UFOs. Many of them live in underground hideouts here in the Earth. In the following years, the theory of evolution will be discredited from the very founder, supporters themselves, and their pawns. You can see this happening even now. They will then promote through government disinformation scientists that mankind was created in a test tube by these Anunnaki, and that these Anunnaki are our creators. This is part of the grand delusion and lie at the end of the days, and we are in the end of days. Instead of preaching the truth, our churches changed the truth to lies and preached the Son of Seth facade, changing the truth of scriptures. These angels were the sons of Father Yahweh, who rebelled against him. Our churches also sat back and allowed the book of Enoch to be taken out of the scriptures. What this did was hide the worldwide hybridization and the truth concerning who these aliens are and what they are doing. Why? To keep people in the dark and unprepared for the great lie that is coming. They could not pull it off if everyone already understood what these aliens really are. Many pastors today are following the dumb beat of their training seminaries and not fathers. They are following man's wisdom, not fathers, while religious leaders aren't preparing their congregations for what is coming. And in their own ignorance, they do not even realize they've been deceived themselves because they refuse the truth as it is in Father Yahweh, and they have blindly accepted only what man has told them to believe or teach. Father has told Sherry that in the coming days, these aliens will make their presence more visibly and physically known on Earth. They seek only to destroy mankind. Right now, they are infiltrating many groups and organizations and claiming through gullible people to be ascended masters who want to help mankind. Do not believe their lies. They speak with forked tongues. They say they want to help save the Earth while they plan its overthrow and destruction at the same time. The veil is being lifted. In the future, even more than there are now, many people will start to proclaim the truths of aliens that are missed. However, not everything they see is true. Their real purpose is to push a dark hidden agenda and to hide the real truth. They will even televise worldwide an interview with an alien who is nothing but Satan himself in alien form. Many of the lies being put out is for a specific reason: to inform the public on the paranormal, occult, UFOs, earth changes, and to herd and brainwash the people into believing that the aliens from outer space are our creators, our forefathers, ascended masters, and enlightened ones. They are creating the foundation for the biggest deception that has ever been perpetrated on mankind. That mankind is a creation of these aliens, and that they are our gods, and therefore there is no real God. The Bible will be wrongly discredited, and they will proclaim that there are no such things as natural God-given rights. It is about world government and total control over the surviving masses by the elite of the occult secret societies, and that is what these incriminal brainwashers will try to do. These aliens are not extraterrestrials. They are terrestrial and subterranean. They live within our earth and part of our sky. The Bible explicitly tells us that Satan is the prince and the power of the air. It also tells us about demons, hell, hybrids, and the Nephilim and Anunnaki. As the end of times approaches, the lies of extraterrestrial lineage, heritage, and alien creation will come in full force. It is up to you to reject these lies and cling to the truth of the Bible, that Father is our Creator. Don't be deceived by them. Arm yourself with the word of Father Yahweh. I'll let you take a minute to absorb all that. I also wanted to take a minute here to tell you, since I've had a few people ask me about what's transpired lately, I figured it's best to address it now. As far as what my plans are if my channel doesn't make the cut come December 10th due to the new policies of YouTube, which are essentially, if you're not making us money, you're no use to us, and we're just taking up valuable bandwidth, when I believe they know that truther channels are now either seeking donations elsewhere like Patreon, because they are being so demonetized with their videos through alleged shadow banning, etc., that they already know who won't make the cut and effectively get the axe. But they can't just come out and say, no truther channels are welcome here. Well, I guess they could. It's their company to do with what they please, but it wouldn't come without a lot of backlash. So let's just fudge the policy a little and they won't be the wiser. Personally, I'd be willing to pay a monthly fee or an annual fee, whatever they'd offer, just to keep my channel going pro bono. Because I refuse to accept donations for sounding the alarm for Father Yahweh. Others can do whatever they want, but that's where I stand. This content shouldn't cost anything other than the time it takes to listen. Period. With that said, for now, if you're interested in knowing what happens to my channel and where to keep in touch if it is axed, email me at the provided email address at the bottom of the description, and we'll go from there. At least that way I'll be able to keep you posted. And if you decide to continue following me if I show up somewhere else, you'll know. Lastly, I wanted to take a few minutes to recognize a person by the name of Field McConnell, whom I've grown to admire over the 3 years of knowing him. Now, even though I've lost touch with his radio show over the last year due to my workload being revamped, which was right around the time it had become the Children's Crusade, my admiration for his courage and conviction hasn't changed, despite my failed efforts in convincing his team of ever-growing agents about Apostle Paul. Early this month, Field was arrested on 3 felony counts in Broward County, Florida. Now, he's being held with no bond due because they believe he's a flight risk, simply because he's a pilot. Now, I don't know much about the charges other than I've heard cyber stalking is included against an attorney named Kim Picasio, but I do know that even people charged with murder in some instances have been granted bond. From everything I know of Field, he's a good man who has exposed a lot of evil for well over a decade when first starting Able Danger with his then partner David Hawkins, and now his endeavors with the Children's Crusade, which may have a lot to do with why he's been arrested, considering his recently forged friendship with Timothy Holmseth, who's evidently had previous run-ins with Picasio. Now, I'm concerned that this may just be the beginning of a quote-unquote loudmouth roundup, and they currently have the biggest whistleblower going today locked up in Pierce County, Wisconsin, awaiting extradition to Broward County, which, from my understanding, Field is fighting to keep from happening, as well he should. Now, if you're well versed in the happenings in Broward County, well, I'll let you do your own research on that. But it's where the Valentine's Day Parkland High School shooting had taken place, the 2017 Fort Lauderdale Airport shooting had taken place, and where elected Sheriff Scott Israel had recently been voted out of office for a number of reasons. Again, you can draw your own parallels there. Please keep Field and his wife Denise in your prayers. They are both God-fearing people who know exactly what's going on in this deceptive world, at least from this side of the veil anyway, which they've only tried to make a much better place by exposing evil. Thank you. God bless.